Right, we're with Tom, and today we're zooming into Wigton, beautiful Wigton, and we're going to have a crack with Tom, who is the owner of Redmayne Tailors, who've been there since 1860. And the floor's yours, Tom.
Yeah, well, hello, welcome to Redmayne's, everybody. Yeah, Redmayne's has been here a long time. I've been here for quite a part of it. I came here about best part of about 40 years ago as an apprentice, and then I ran off down to London to make my fortune, chasing girls and fortune and all the rest of it. And through a long old story, I ended up returning back here. And the nice thing is I get back here after 35 years and the same staff are here, and it's the same building and it has the same smell. So yeah, it's an institution, Redmayne's, really old place. I grew up in Warwick Bridge and Corby Hill, and I started with Redmayne's as an apprentice, like you say, in about 1983. And when I was 25, I went off to London,
right,
and I went to one of the most famous tailors there called Anderson and Shepherd.
Okay.
And I went down to see them, and I worked there for 5 years. And it's there that I was, cutter for Prince Charles and all the great and good, because it was that kind of a house, basically.
Right.
And then I left there and I started my own business. And Redmayne's is a family firm. And Michael Wigglesworth, who is the current owner as such of the business, he said, look, Tom, you've always been part of the furniture. I have 2 children. They're going to be doctors. And, if we don't find somebody to come back to Redmayne's, then 150 years of history disappears. And one thing led to another. So Claire and I came back here, and we're delighted to be here. And it's, we've always had a good following, so that's remained. But now we maybe injected a little bit more fresh dynamism into it, and clients and such like. So it's good.
How many people have Redmayne's employed over the years? God, it must be.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something. If you go for a drink in any of the pubs here when they're open,
yeah,
it's a small town. They know who we are, and we're walking around in suits all the time. Everybody says, "Oh, my granny worked for Redmayne. My dad worked for Redmayne. My uncle worked for Redmayne." We have Peter who's working here. He's been here for 52 years. We've got a young apprentice.
Molly.
Sadly, you've just missed her, Molly.
Yeah.
And her grandfather worked at Redmayne.
Right.
So, there's a lot of family tradition.
How are you coping with the current situation, Tom?
It's tough, like it is for everybody. We fall in a bit of a strange sort of sphere, because we're not really retail like an ordinary shop.
Yeah.
So non-essential retail has to close. So in theory, we're closed. You can't come in. So that's us obeying the law.
Yeah.
But that said, work and business can still go on. So people see us by appointment only.
Okay.
And so you'll get one individual make an appointment to come here, and, we'll wear masks and take all the precautions. And actually, we can legally do business. Now, we're very fortunate that with the following that we have, we've managed to tick over a little bit. But it's still not been good, because Redmayne, a lot of its client base is around the world, specifically in the USA.
Yeah.
So that's pretty tough, because we just can't go to the USA. Claire's going to join me now. The other half.
You're really active on social media, which is great to see. You're on the Facey page. You're on YouTube as well. You've got your blog,
That's it.
.com. Plenty of videos on there as well. In fact,
there's one that certainly small retail businesses might be interested in. If you're feeling a bit sorry for yourself,
by virtue of its name, its title.
We had to work in London last week. Oh, this is us, yeah. And we did like a little video of central London in the West End, Savile Row, and the West End of London is absolutely decimated. Wigton, Carlisle,
By comparison,
are like boom towns in comparison.
Wow.
It's because people live here,
Yeah.
and we know that we would not have got through this if it wasn't for local people.
Right.
But we have an office in London, but the centre of London, the businesses that are normally very, very busy and very successful, well, of course, all of their clients are generally the wealthy people that come to visit central London.
Yeah.
All live in very nice penthouses in Mayfair.
Right.
Well, of course, they've all gone. And therefore, we had to do a photo shoot there a couple of weeks back. And at 9 o'clock in the morning, on a Saturday morning, you couldn't even buy a bottle of water in the West End just off Regent Street.
Because it was shut?
So everything was shut. I mean, like I say, it's not going to give anybody much comfort, but very unusually, when things happen in the world, you know, economies go up, economies go down.
Yeah.
People can very rightly say it's all right for people in the heart of London, because it is. It's like a separate country almost, you know.
Yeah.
But ironically, they are suffering worse than the towns here, you know.
Wow.
So
thanks to our contingent, you know, we are very grateful. We're still here. We're still going.
Wow.
We've got new products coming. Exciting things.
We're getting people, you know, there's loads of, you're getting that classic thing where everybody's, look, we were going to get married, but now we're going to get married in like August, September. Can you help us out? So I think there's a lot of pent up energy where people are like, you know, we want to get on with our lives. So we can't take advantage of it, but we're only, you know, month, 6 weeks away, I think.
You also do wedding. You also do informal wear, formal wear, groom, for any occasion.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we offer quite a big range.
Okay.
And yes, we make for CEOs of, you know, companies in the United States and London. Of course we do. But I've got a guy coming in from Keswick, turning up. Well, exactly.
Speaking of the big wigs, one of our big wigs that we make for, that we can talk about because he talks about us, well, he talks about Thomas, is the chief designer of Apple.
He's not anymore. He was up until last year.
Well, Mr. Johnny Ive.
Sir Johnny Ive. We're very fortunate. So Johnny Ive, he invented the iPhone, the iPod, chief designer at Apple. And as I say, we don't talk about our clients because we just don't. But Sir Jonathan very kindly talks about us a lot, you know, in Vogue and different things. So, yeah, I mean, a really cool client. And he likes the attention to detail. Well, you can imagine he likes the attention to detail. And just the most humble, ordinary guy you'll ever meet in your life.
But we make for him. But like Tom was just about to say, is we make for
anyone.
Everybody,
well,
anybody who
we'll give you a little bit of a walk round.
Okay,
so if we come round here.
But do tell us about the guy from Keswick. What's he after?
So well, here's his suit here. Look at this beautiful blue thing. So this is very nice lining. So this is a gentleman from Keswick. Yeah. He's got a 3-piece suit. He's getting married later in the year, and we will be meeting him on Saturday morning, socially distanced.
Yeah.
For the collection of his suit, you know, all masked up. And so it's like, so we make for everybody. And I think it's because, or the perception of us, it's like an old gentleman's club in here.
Yeah.
You've been in, it's all panelled.
Yeah.
I mean, it's leather chairs. It's just, it's Wigton's version of Kingsman.
Yeah.
The film.
Aye.
So you step in the fitting room as an elevator goes down, you know, to the jet car.
Right.
But basically, you can get a suit, a 2-piece suit for £995.
Right.
And people are surprised at that. We don't really advertise an awful lot locally. We should do more. We will do more. But if you're buying a suit off the peg, you can easily spend £300 or £400. you are getting what the shop offers you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're sort of buying what you least dislike, rather that you come here and you get exactly what you like. You know,
Right.
if you want 3 buttons, you get 3 buttons. You get the cloth, you get the shape, and you get the service. And people, we do a sports jacket for £695 and
Right.
a suit for £995, and it's proved really popular. As I say, thank goodness. It's what's been keeping us going.
Fantastic. No, I really do like Wigton. I think it's absolutely it's unique.
It's always funny, Wigton, because, and I hope nobody's offended by this, but it doesn't really qualify as West Cumbria.
It's in the middle. It's not Carlisle.
It's not Carlisle. And
Yeah.
Wigton folk are just totally different from out west to Carlisle, you know. So it's fab.
It's weird because if I've worked in Carlisle for the past 10 years, and I remember talking to people and they were saying, "Oh yeah, I was out west." It's like, "Oh, where was you? In Wigton?" And I'm like, "Eh, that's I live out west. I live down Egremont way," and I'm like, "That's out. They're classing that as out west, and it's only down the road from them."
It's 10 minutes. I mean, it's 10 minutes, isn't it? You know, that's the thing from Carlisle.
Yeah,
but that's one of the great things about, you know, think about the UK, that we're a small country essentially, and we pocket ourselves into even smaller sections of it.
Yeah.
But actually, we're all, you know, all Cumbrians on the whole. You know, I can't count on how many bad Cumbrians I've met. They're some of the best people in the UK, really.
One of the reasons I do what I do as a living is because I love where I live. And all the towns, they're all different. Wigton, it's a mixture of a handful of Cockermouth, a handful of Keswick, all mixed up, and you've got this beautiful little market town. I think it's beautiful.
I got to agree with you. I mean, Claire, and we touched on this before, is from...
I'm an incomer too, rather like you, but...
north of Watford, you know, and we said this before, she was an extra in Harry Potter. She could have went to great dizzy heights, but she came here to Wigton. When I went to London, I had a really good job. I mean, I had a top job. And quite frankly, the only reason why I left was because I needed to be back in this county.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved London. I love London. It's a great city, but I just didn't want to be riding on the tube smelling somebody's armpit for the next 25 years.
It is a privilege to live here. It really is. And I really do sound like a southerner when I say that. And I know, you know, I'd love to lock up the county and stop any more of us from coming along sometimes, but I'm so pleased that the children live here and grow up here. And, you know, maybe like Thomas, they won't accept it and for what it is until they move away from it. Who knows? I hope not, but yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I think it's gradually changing though, because I have to say, when I left in 89, 90 to London, you know, Cumbria was a lovely place to grow up. I mean, I loved it, but it was significantly different. There was a lot of things you could do in London you couldn't do here.
Yeah.
But that is changing, you know. I mean, you can go out for a night in Carlisle. There's the distance in social life, and because of technology, there are more opportunities, I think. And that's why more people are moving here, because yes, it's nice to have the mountains and the lakes, but people like sophisticated, cool things, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And of course, 25, 30 years ago, it was a lot more sophisticated in London or whatever, you know. But now there are really cool places opening up. We've got this little restaurant open next door, Scran, brilliant name. He trained with Marco Pierre White, you know, and his food's to die for. But in Cumbria, you've got to be local. You've just got to be a little bit more aware. So we've just got a lady dropping off our flights. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Thanks so much. That's great. So this is our revised schedule for the United States. We have a little travel agents next door, and they are just so brilliant at
so helpful
doing the work for us. You know, it's absolutely terrific. So you've got to to get the best out of Cumbria, you've got to really make the effort to fit in, or you miss out.
Embrace everything that's offered to you.
Probably
really.
a better way of putting it. I came back home to Cumbria in January 95. There's no internet or anything.
No.
And I remember my old bank manager, which was Lloyd's in Carlisle, and it's now Pizza Hut or something. It's on the corner of
Pizza Express.
Pizza Express.
Yeah.
I used to be the old Lloyd's Bank, and the bank manager was a lovely man. And, you know, that's 25, 30 years ago, and the world was a different place. It was a bit like going to see Captain Mannering, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was very nice. We sat him down, and I said, look, I don't want to overdraft. I just want a business account, and I want to start this business. And I'll never forget it. He said, so what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to sell suits. He goes, oh, like a suit shop? I said, no, I'm a tailor, and I'm going to sell bespoke tailoring. He goes, well, how much are your suits? And I remember they're all bespoke then. I said, they're £998.17. And I tell you, he looked at me like, well, good luck, you know.
17p. 17p.
Yeah. Exactly. So it was all informed then. But of course, we based ourselves here, and people like that we're here. Yeah, we go down to London, but this county, I mean, we had an email off a guy the other day, and he said, look, I just can't wait to come and see you in that gorgeous county. We had a chap from London come up in the summer who ordered new shooting stuff, and he just said, I've always wanted to get up to Cumbria. It's out of this world. And so I think that kind of niche thing does us a favour, because we are not with the crowd.
No.
We can make for anybody. We can make at the highest level. We can compete, but we choose not to be running with everybody else. And I think people like that, you know?
The other thing I was going to say, just going back to people working from wherever they want to work at, is, you know, we still advocate for the fact, though, that wherever you are working, whatever medium you're working on, you can still dress smart, and dressing smart for those online business meetings, those Zoom occasions, it still makes a huge impression.
I feel like a scruff now.
There's a friend of ours online in the US. Not intended to, Steve, not intended to, but you know, you're always welcome here at Redmayne's. But he's currently running a campaign called Wear a Tie, because you can wear whatever shirt you want to wear, but just by putting on a tie, you lift, you elevate what it is that you're dressing for that occasion, you know, and you can work here from home here in Cumbria and come and visit your local tailors. Get yourself a nice little blazer to go with it, Steve.
Well, I like that. No, I like what you said there. I really think that I think you've hit on something there. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you're at home. You can make the effort, and you can look the part. Be
and
the part.
Plus, properly tailored clothes are really comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, I say to Johnny Ive at Apple, if you look at a lot of the old images of him, all he's wearing is a black T-shirt.
Yeah.
Looking really cool. Well, he only ordered from us 15 years ago, whenever it was, because he heard about us. And we're a British company. And he said, you know what? I don't wear suits, but I like you guys. And if I have a suit, I need it from you guys. Okay?
Nice.
So he kind of just experimented. He needed some things. But then he turned around and he said, well, I didn't realise clothing could be so comfortable.
Wow.
But now you look at all his interviews, he's wearing our clothing.
They're often compared to, they're so comfortable, you'll see some of our reviews, they're compared to pyjamas. They go, it's like pulling on my favourite cardigan or my pyjamas. It's soft, it's comfortable. And why should you wear clothing that's uncomfortable? That's not what
we don't advocate, you know, it's about enjoying your clothes. It's,
being proud of it. It doesn't, like, it can be as bold or as subtle or as formal as you want it to be, and that's what we advocate, is what you want it to be, but go for it, be brave, have that smart outfit.
It's just I look so good in a suit, you see. Everybody wants to look like me.
So just get to Redmayne. So get to Redmayne, get to Wigton, get online. Redmayne's 1860, and Tom and Claire will get you looking pucker. That's it. That's it. Not more to say.
Cheers, Steve.
Right, yeah. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for dropping in.
No, yeah, best of luck to you when we come out of this. I'll get this shared up for you, and absolute pleasure.